What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Holo. Now, whether you want to call it Holo Chain or Holo, they've been building a very, very cool system in place that can support energy grids. They've got a lot of things that they can support. It's had a really strong bull cycle in the last one. I don't think we're necessarily going to see those same highs, based on a couple of things that I'm going to share, bits of data in this video, which make me think maybe not huge heights that I once thought. Before I get into any of that though, guys, if you're new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed everyone that I was buying up all of these coins because I expected them to have really good profits. And you can see what the prices of all these coins were when I recorded my videos. You can see the highs these coins hit less than a year and a half on, and what the profit would have been from $100 into each one. And in total, that would have been a $2,600 investment. Selling all the coins, like I say, less than a year and a half on, a $2,600 investment would have made you a profit of over 123 grand, which is pretty good. Now, I sold these. Since the markets crashed, I've been buying up new cryptos, and I continue to do so on a very regular basis. And I share the coins that I'm getting in on my website, which is copymycrypto.com. So anytime I find a coin that I think can have the profits of Theta and Zilliqa and Phantom, I get it in on. And what I'll do is I'll jump on the site and I'll tell the members what the coin is, what kind of profits I think it can have, and what percentage of my money I'm putting in. So they literally can just copy along. There's no work required for any of the members whatsoever. When I sell a coin, I also do the same thing. I let my members know what coin I'm selling, what percentage of my holdings that I'm selling, and again, what I'm doing with my profits, whether it's reinvesting it, whether it's just, banking it. Again, takes all the work out of it for the members, and we've got thousands of members for the reason that we've had some really good successes. And if you want to see what they are, you can go on to copymycrypto.com now. There's a link in the description. What you'll see are the things I've said in the past and what ended up happening. You'll see what the members have earned since joining. All of it is public record. It's all on the old videos on this channel, so you can read through the entire site. You can then go onto this channel, watch the old videos, confirm everything you read, and make a decision if it's something that you'd like to try. So let's talk Holo. So Holo hit really pretty impressive heights in the last bull cycle. In fact, its high was 3.157 cents, which, when you bear in mind, it was less than, like one tenth of a cent for quite a while. In fact, it reached like 3/100ths of a cent. So it did, it dropped really, really low in the last bear cycle, hit really good heights. Now, Holo has some interesting use cases as well. In fact, there is a guy, I think it's Crowd Wisdom here, that posted about it. So let's just see if I can get this up and running. There we go. So, energy. So Holo Chain's use cases is all on the site as well. I'll show you that. So Holo Chain supports distributed intelligence for distributed energy grids, offering features like local validation, fault tolerance, for inconsistent connectivity, as well as privacy, interoperability, and more. They can also support currencies, so Holochain facilitates various currency infrastructures, whether that's in-game currencies and community credits. They also have been creating what's called fair data systems that ensures system control equality. As a result, this allows for more fair distribution of access, as well as to connect with international markets and facilitate mobile banking. And they can also support local economies, whether that's car sharing or community currencies, as well as activism. They also ensure data privacy, local hosting, and offer some pre-built modules for diverse applications. Now, what's quite interesting about Holo Chain is some of the data that we've got. So, this is the market performance. So, since ICO, it's still about 7 times what it was at ICO. And the circulating supply is quite massive, 171 billion of these coins. Now they've hit a number of milestones. They offered a pre-sale of cloud hosting services in the form of ERC20 tokens called Holo tokens, which obviously became Holo. But yeah, the ticker is HOT. The supply of the Holo tokens was linked to the amount of distributed computing that the network was providing. And they intended to run a sale that was as inclusive as possible for anyone that wanted to actually use the system and the service and try and get in early. Now, in and of itself, that's obviously quite interesting. But then we've got the contracts. So if we take a look at Etherscan, 125,000 holders is quite massive at this point. Especially when you're looking at crypto that only has a market cap of about 183 million. So there are a lot of holders. There's a lot of people interested. It's not a surprise. It's very low cap. Sorry, not low cap, very low price. And that's obviously appealing to a lot of people. Now, one thing that I'm not blown away by is the actual ecosystem of Holochain. So they have a few different projects that have been building upon them. So you've got neighborhoods, which gives groups the capacity to intentionally design cultural values into groupware tools. You've got the Internet of Energy Network, which is a software protocol to coordinate devices that produce, consume, or store electricity. You've also got the NFTs on Holochain, which, again, I'm not a huge fan of NFTs at the moment, and I've not been a fan for a while, to be fair. But they're interesting. But as of right now, the Holochain ecosystem feels a bit small, given that they've been up and running for 4.5 years. They have a ton of contributors. They've got a good team. There's not much to dislike about it, to be honest. They're pretty good. The founders of Holo are Arthur Brock and Eric Harris Braun. Both are experienced coders. And Brock was named a fellow of the New Zealand based Edmund Hillary Fellowship. Harris Braun was one of the emerging Leader Labs founders as well, along with Brock as well. But they've got a good history, like a good development background. The network is secured via... The network does not rely on global consensus to secure its network. So each dApp has its own set of validation rules and a local hash chain. So when data is transmitted across the multiple nodes, the peers act as validators. So that's receiving data and verifying that it follows the correct rules. So what actually it means for Holo is there is no max supply. This can continue to go up and up and up. But obviously, as the circulating supply increases and increases and increases and increases, the probability of higher price points reduces. The likelihood of this, as an example, hitting $1 is pretty much zero, or as close to zero as you're going to get. It's 177 billion tokens. That's going to make a huge market cap. Well, it's going to make 177 billion market cap. So it's highly unlikely we're going to see any sort of huge price move for this. And it's only been through one bull cycle, so there's not enough evidence to suggest it's in a long-term uptrend or a long-term downtrend. And probabilistically, you've got to go with more likely to drop in price, just because we've seen so many cryptos that have done very well in their first bull cycle, and then in the second iteration of that, they've dropped in price. So that's what I'd be expecting for Holo. And that's because, excuse me, that supply is booming. It is absolutely rocketing up. Also, the website itself, the visits, the usage is not exactly skyrocketing. It's been dwindling over the past few months. That's a sign of losing interest. Now, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen forever, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence, I suppose. You can actually run cloud hosting. Cloud hosting is very simple. You host on the Holo network, you provide computing power, and you earn Holo fuel. So it's a similar way in which Airbnb works. That's the analogy they like. Very, very simple and easy to get involved with. You just compare the Holo ports that you would want, and when Holo ports are available again, if you've joined the email waiting list, you'll be made aware of it. Now, fundamentally for me, as of right now, the only thing that really makes me concerned in terms of price action, I suppose, is just I've not seen growth in the overall ecosystem. Obviously the network's being used, even though it's dropping, or usage has been sort of dwindling a little bit. I still think this is going to end up being something that's quite damn interesting in the next bull cycle. It wouldn't shock me to see it break its previous high. There's a lot of activity on like the forums, and they update the blog very regularly. They update and as you can see, they update the roadmap regularly as well, so you can see the phases that they're at right now. I just would like to see a little more. I'd like to see some growth. I'd like to see some more usage. They run through all the possible use cases for Holochain and the benefits of it. And the benefits of it are pretty significant, whether that's energy or currencies or social impact on local communities. For me personally, I think a bigger focus should be pushed on energy. I think energy is going to end up being an enormous growth sector sooner or later. I think it might take 4 or 5 years for energy to really have that explosion, but I think it's inevitable, and Holo would really benefit from that. But yeah, I think what I'd like to see with Holo is more usage. I'd like to see growing statistics on users on the network. I'd like to see some more projects being built upon it. Then I think you could confidently say it's going to beat its previous high. But as of right now, I'm hesitant. I've previously been saying I think it could hit 5 cents. I'm now more thinking, especially when I look at the supply and the growth that it's had, I'm more thinking more like 2 cents. Because if, say it hit 5 cents, that would put it at a market cap of about $8.5 billion. That's quite a lot, given that I don't think it's being used enough. Not that that's necessarily the biggest deal in the world. There's a lot of cryptos that have had enormous market caps that don't make sense. So that's not necessarily the biggest thing. But even if it just hit $2, that's a 20x from where it is, and that would put it at market cap of 3.4 billion, which is still very high. So I think 2 cents is probably where I'm looking. But if there was an energy boom, if there was a real push on distributed energy, then I think Holo would have that pump, along with obviously Power Ledger and Energy Web Token and all of those, and Grid. Is it Grid Plus? Yeah. But I'm a little hesitant to suggest new all-time high now. The more I look at it, the more I go, I think it's going to struggle. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think this is going to struggle? Do you think this is going to boom? What do you think is going to happen in the next bull cycle? There's 125,000 holders out there that are bullish on this, or are certainly bullish enough to hold it. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. And guys, if you just want to make crypto easy, in fact, if you want to make it as simple as humanly possible, you can do by heading over to copymycrypto.com. That is the site I run where I share with everyone everything I'm doing all the time. So anytime I buy a coin, I let my members know what crypto I'm buying, why I'm buying it, what kind of profits I think it can have, what percentage of my money I'm putting in there, and members can copy along. There's literally no work. It's the same when I sell a coin. I let my members know what coin I'm selling, why I'm selling it, what percentage I'm selling, and what I'm doing with my profits. The history of what we've done is on the website. You can see the things I've said in the past. You can see the profits the members have made. Everything on the site is public record, so you can verify and confirm everything you read on the old videos on this channel. You can make a decision if this is a service that you'd like to try. And if it is, wonderful. I'll see you soon. If it isn't, no worries. If you're watching this video, I'll still see you soon. And that's it from me, guys. Take it easy.